Solution Caves, the Carlsbad Caverns by Marisa Medina, Geology 1403, Dr. R. Nandingam. What are solution caves? These caves are formed by the dissolving of the rock along and adjacent to joints, fractures, faults, and layers in the rock. The processes involved are both chemical erosion and physical erosion. Solution caves are most often found in rock types such as limestone, marble, and gypsum and are associated with karst landscapes. What are karst landscapes? Karst is a topography formed from the dissolution of soluble rocks such as limestone, dolomite, and gypsum. It is characterized by underground drainage systems with sinkholes and caves. Subterranean drainage may limit surface water with few to no rivers or lakes. The Carlsbad Caverns. The Carlsbad Caverns are one of the largest accessible caves in the world. The caverns are one of over 300 limestone caves in a fossil reef laid down by an inland sea about 265 million years ago. They were formed when sulfuric acid destroyed limestone. Here's a personal picture of my family and I at the caverns. Inside the caves. A spiral trip underground is the way into the caves. As you enter, you can hear the fluttering of the thousands of Brazilian free-tailed bats it houses. The smell of guano is strong, and the cave is very dimly lit. Yet, it is still enough to not lose sight of its grandeur. As you descend, you start to feel a shift in temperature. It gets cooler and cooler the further down you go, despite it being over 100 degrees outside. Hundreds of years ago, Native Americans took shelter inside those very caves, and the occasional mountain lion or cougar still goes inside. Brazilian free-tailed bats. From April to October, you may witness thousands of these bats that take flight every afternoon right before the sun sets to begin to hunt in the night. And a fun little fun fact is that they actually have an outdoor auditorium where you can sit and witness the bats come out of the cave. Inside the caves. As you walk down the caves, you may use a safety railing to hold on to. Small puddles are on the floor. Great stalactites, which hang from the ceiling, drip water, and small pools are formed in certain areas. Other rocks are covered in ice. It is clear that there is water inside the cave, and it's played its part forming the stalactites. The water that is found inside is groundwater that seeps through the cracks from above. As it makes its way into the cave, it brings with it calcite, minerals, and limestone that in turn clashes with carbon dioxide. Stalagmites and stalactites. So as you can see from this personal video that I'm sharing, there is ice on rocks, and you can see water dripping from the ceiling, and you can see the great stalactites hanging and stalagmites in the background. Stalactite and stalagmites. Stalactites are icicle-like shapes that hang from the ceiling of solution caves. They are formed by dripping water sweeping from the ground above. The water dripping from the end of a stalactite falls to the floor of a cave and deposits more calcite in the mound. Soon enough, you'll have a stalagmite growing, which is a cone-like shape on the ground. This is why you usually find stalactites and stalagmites in pairs, and sometimes they will even grow together to form one big column. And sometimes the stalactites may grow so big they are unable to support their own weight, and you may find them broken along the floor of the cave. So up here we see a stalactite hanging from the ceiling, and we see a column which was a stalagmite that formed together with the stalactite. My experience inside the caves was amazing. I was very impressed by what our Mother Nature can do. I would recommend the sweater next time because I had no idea that it would be so cool down there, which was very nice considering how hot it is outside. And